Anthony for breakfast. Albany 783 Triple M. Great to catch up with HR expert Jonathon Woolfrey. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Anthony.
You're in our part of the world.
Yes, I am. Enjoying beautiful Denmark in this nice winter.
Yeah, well, good on you. What a great place to be. And I hope you and the family enjoy yourself while you're there for a few days. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the COVID vaccine rollout. There's a lot of attention that's really focused on some of these larger organisations that are offering vaccination hubs. You know, they're beginning to take an active role. I know there's West Farmers that are involved with Bunnings and Officeworks, shopping centres as well. There's a number of them. Should private employers be part of the vaccine rollout? We want to talk to you about that. And what are your thoughts on employers being part of that vaccine rollout?
Yeah, it's really getting legs as we all look around. We all want to get back to normal. I think businesses and private employers are the same. They want, we see the pathway as being vaccinations to open up and get back to normal. So businesses obviously have a bit of a vested interest in that and are wanting to get involved. And they have been involved before as well. We've seen flu vaccine programs, etc., in bigger employers. This is a bit different because whether it's a hub and general public come into it, like has been mooted with West Farmers, Officeworks, etc., or whether or not the employer really encouraging and taking proactive steps for their own staff, a little bit different. But there has been a bit of a precedent for this with flu vaccines before as well. So it's no surprise that businesses want to get the economy up and going and move beyond this uncertainty, trying to do everything they can to move that forward.
So why would an employer want to be involved in the vaccination rollout?
Yeah, there's a few reasons. Obviously, what I've alluded to just then in regards to the rollout and getting back to business as usual as quickly as possible. We see organisations take much more interest in being involved in things they see as being valuable in society. So, and other organisations that have done flu vaccines and all those kind of things before incorporate into their wellness programs. But do you know what? At the end of the day, it affects their bottom line as well. If they have people off sick, it costs them money. If they're able to invest in things such as these vaccination programs, then it has less people off sick, less off the workplace, less viruses going around the workplace, healthier, happier, more productive workplace.
Okay. The first thing I think of when I think of the employer getting involved in the vaccine rollout is I think of areas of concern, legal issues. How is this all going to play out?
Yeah, I think we need to be mindful of these. I mentioned their flu vaccine rollouts, but this is really quite different because of, for a few reasons. First of all, flu vaccines are entirely voluntary. No one really pays attention to who gets them or not. And the take-up is reasonably low, but it's still more than zero, so it's good for employees. But with the COVID vaccine rollout, we have different kind of vaccines create different kinds of pressures, whether people get the Pfizer or the AstraZeneca, etc. People talk about that. There's, we're aiming for a much higher percentage vaccination than we are normally in regards to flu and all that kind of stuff. Most workplaces, in fact, I don't know of any workplaces that roll out, the tetanus, the measles, mumps, because they're all private and all those kind of things. So this is quite different. And some of those issues are what happens if someone has an adverse reaction when we're dealing with big numbers of people in the workplace?
Yeah.
What about the fracture between staff that do and don't want to? We're already seeing, a lot of hesitancy and different kinds of conspiracy theories even permeating around. There's some real arguments existing in society, and if they're going into the workplace, it could create those issues. And the employer themselves, it's not their general business, so whilst they normally contract health professionals from outside, they do open themselves up to an area that they're not necessarily great at, and that can create some unintended consequences.
Yeah, thank you very much. HR expert Jonathon Woolfrey. You and your family enjoy your time in beautiful Denmark, and we'll talk again soon.
Will do. Thanks a lot, Anthony.